The Taproot Teacher Training is an annual retreat for homeschooling parents, a live in-person gathering that brings together heart-centered homeschoolers from all over the world for hands-on learning, community, connection, and fun. And I'd love to see you at Taproot 2024. We'll gather August 1st through 4th at a camp in northeastern Ohio for a long weekend of engaging workshops, hiking and yoga, and personal reflection. Taproot gives everyone a chance to experience and practice singing, painting, and building main lessons in order to foster a deeper understanding of the hands-on Waldorf-Inspired approach. A team of experienced homeschoolers offer guidance rooted in each of their family's life to help bring you more joy to yours. This is our 18th year of offering this amazing experience. You can learn more at artofhomeschooling.com/taproot2024. You're listening to the Art of Homeschooling podcast, where we help parents cultivate creativity and connection at home. I'm your host, Jean Miller, and here on this podcast, you'll find stories and inspiration to bring you the confidence you need to make homeschooling work for your family. Let's begin. Hello there. In honor of Mother's Day, which is coming up next week here in the United States, I'm recording this episode about mindful mothering. Of course, you could listen to this any time of year, and no matter whether you're a mother, a father, or even a grandparent. Today, I have 3 tips for mindful mothering that are going to help you embrace the idea of motherhood or parenthood in an intentional way and in a way that helps you be good to yourself. Mother is an archetype, a universal pattern or image that's present in the collective unconscious of all human beings, according to psychologist Carl Jung. This archetype represents the concept of the nurturing, caring mother with maternal and protective instincts. A mother is at their most basic a giver of life. The reality is that many of us didn't grow up with a nurturing and caring mother. And that adds extra challenge when we become mothers or parents ourselves. Because the truth is that we all come from dysfunctional families of some sort. But working with this idea of mother as archetype can help us heal old wounds while showing up as our best selves for our children. This can help us mother ourselves. Here are 3 tips for mindful mothering so that you can show up as your best self. These tips come from my own personal life experience, growing up in a family where there was more anger than nurturing, and parenting 3 children when I felt completely ill-equipped. Let's start with the first tip: acknowledge the imperfections. When we can see the imperfections in our own mothers as well as in ourselves, we can be open to love. Of course, we want to see a person as more than their imperfections, but starting by acknowledging that we all are imperfect is so powerful. As Brené Brown says in her book, The Gifts of Imperfection, when we acknowledge the imperfections, we can begin to love with our whole hearts. Here's a quote from the beginning of the book. Owning our own story and loving ourselves through that process is the bravest thing that we will ever do. We are all shaped by the mothers in our lives, as well as how we care for ourselves. The mother archetype shows up in our lives in many forms, and it's not always in our own mothers. In my life, I have found dear friends and mentors who are like mothers to me, who nurture me and invite me to be my true self, even get to know my true self. All of us have mothers in our lives, whether by blood or by friendship, those who love us for who we are and see the best in us. I invite you to think about who has been a mother to you. What lasting gifts have they given you? By examining those relationships and acknowledging the love as well as the imperfections, we can pay homage to those special people in our lives who have shown us how to live here on this earth. And in the process, come to love and appreciate ourselves in an even bigger way. My next tip is to ask for what you want. There are a lot of expectations for a mother to give and give and give. We often put these expectations on ourselves as well, and there's not always enough support or appreciation for all that we do. Much of the work of motherhood is hidden. I often say that as moms, we create and hold the space for our entire family, and that requires a lot of energy. It's work that's not always visible. And if we sit around waiting for appreciation or even expecting others to recognize all we do, I know from experience the end result will be disappointment. We cannot expect others to read our minds and take care of our needs. So, my biggest tip for mothers is to ask for what you want. I know many of us are not accustomed to doing this. Many of us are brought up to not ask for what we want. So, this can take practice. But waiting until you're angry or burned out is a recipe for disaster. Believe me, I know this from experience. So I want to encourage you to start simply and just speak what you want and need out loud. Something like, I want to plant some flowers together this afternoon, or I'd like help with the laundry on Sundays, or I'm tired, so I'm going to lie down and read my book. I promise it's so much easier than waiting for or wishing for someone to read your mind. So give it a try and ask for what you want. My third tip is to love yourself. Mother yourself. We can be gentle with ourselves. We can tell ourselves we did our best, even if things didn't work out the way we had hoped. We can talk to ourselves kindly. We can look in the mirror and say, I love you. Here's what I want you to take away from this episode. Speak kindly to yourself as if you're talking to a dear friend. Do things that make you happy. Fill up your own cup. Take breaks when you're tired, when you need to. Practice gratitude. Eat good food, get good sleep, move your body. Read or listen to inspiring poetry and stories of your own choosing. Stop comparing yourself to others and accept that you will make mistakes. I know deep down in my heart that the work we are doing in this world is important and appreciated, regardless of how many thanks we get or gifts or flowers we get on Mother's Day, regardless of how much our family expresses their appreciation. Let's all remember that. And it all starts with loving ourselves. Here's a great quote that helps me when I'm being especially hard on myself. Successful mothers are not the ones who have never struggled. They are the ones that never give up despite the struggles. That's Sharon James. No matter where you are on your journey of self-love and whatever you're feeling today, I want you to know that you're not alone. I'm thinking of you and honoring all you do. The truth is that we can find the mother archetype in a variety of places. It isn't just in our own mothers. We can experience the nurturing from others and from ourselves, and that mother's love can be healing. I have a special gift for you today as we approach Mother's Day here in the US. If you need help getting in touch with feelings of worthiness, check out my little gift, the Mother's Day Manifesto. You'll find a link to it in the show notes for this episode at artofhomeschooling.com/episode 181. In the printable manifesto, I've created 10 affirmations to help you honor all you do for your family. Print it out, hang it on the wall, and put it in your planner as a reminder that you matter and that you are loved. Here's a quick recap of my 3 tips for mindful mothering. 1, acknowledge the imperfections of your mother and yourself. 2, ask for what you want. 3, love yourself and mother yourself. Thanks for tuning in today. Sending you big hugs from one mama to another. See you next time. That's all for today, my friend. But here's what I want you to remember. Rather than perfection, let's focus on connection. Thanks so much for listening, and I'll see you on the next episode of the Art of Homeschooling podcast.